Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lead Yourself First. It's a preview of the experience that you'll have with my signature program. So, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this. I really wanted to create a workshop because for many years I thought I was doing everything right. And so I got to a point, I would say a couple of years ago, when I started to realize that it wasn't just the corporate world, it was more. I needed more and I needed something different. So I felt a little disconnected at the time, and I wasn't sure if I needed to go on my own or to try something completely different. So as I started to go down this journey of self-discovery, I started to realize that everything starts with self-leadership. And in order to lead anybody in your life, you need to learn to lead yourself first. So, with the journey that I went through, I've compiled what I've learned and put it together for everyone um, to have a more, how do I say this, structured learning around self discovery or self leadership. So, with that, let's talk about what self leadership is. So, what is self leadership? Self leadership is about guiding your life within based on emotional clarity, conscious decision making, intuitive wisdom, which we all have. We may not be using it, but it's all there, or we may not recognize it. And purposeful action. Are we taking purposeful action based on all of the above? And it's also about taking ownership of your potential journey and recognizing that the most powerful leadership begins with you. So, step one is that you're here today and you're willing to learn a little bit more. So, thank you. So, there's four key things within self-leadership. It's self-awareness. And, in corporate space, we always ask, are you self-aware? Do you know how you're delivering your messages to the teams, to cross-functional teams, in projects, with, upper management? Are you aware? And a lot of us will say, yes, we are aware. Um, but this is different. This self-awareness is really about who you truly are. And are you truly aware of your authenticity? Are you truly aware of how you're projecting yourself? Okay. The other part is healing. There's a lot of healing in this journey, not in this complimentary coverage, but there will be some that may open some of you up, which is truly a good thing. And it might get emotional, but please know that this is a very safe space that I'm creating here, and there is no judgment. We are all going through it, and I'm here to teach you guys and to experience it together. So I've been through this. It's not like, um I'm teaching something that I haven't gone through. I've gone through the full experience, and that's my purpose is to show up for you guys, okay? The other part of self leadership is connecting to the heart and disconnecting from the ego. So many times, not many times, we've always been trained to connect with the mind. Everything is the mind. Well, the mind is the ego. And so I will teach you through my signature program how to connect with the heart. There's different tools. Some of you already may know how to do that. Some of you may not. And there's always different ways of learning how to do that. Okay. And then there's alignment. Are we in alignment? And how do we get back into alignment? Right. So throughout this course, you'll learn that there's many tools that will help you with alignment. And every time you're out of alignment, the same tool may not work. So it's really important to learn different techniques and tools to get you back on track. Okay, so we are the product. So this is where my background comes in. I have a background in product management in the financial industry. I've been doing it for 20 years. And I realized that what I was doing for 20 years and what I've learned has come to emerge. And so this is what I want to teach you guys is at the end of the day, we are the product. Okay. So it's not about, a platform that's the product that needs enhancements. But if you think of that methodology of how products are always being enhanced, whether it's a candle, whether it's a blow dryer, whether it's auto insurance, whether it's a Visa card, these are products that are constantly evolving over time to keep up with the evolution of humanity. But what are we doing for ourselves to keep up with ourselves? I feel we've been so separated and disconnected from who we truly are that it's time to take back our power and understand that we are the product of ourselves. And so I want to take you through this journey of each of those stages within the product life cycle and how we can start to uncover some of that healing and some of that inner knowing within ourselves. So we start with discovery at the very top. So who are we? Why are we here? You're here today, which is amazing. And within the discovery phase, we do a lot of, the research and, understanding what kind of product upgrade we need, enhancing. So really learning about ourselves. Okay. Then we move into strategy. So what are the different tools, coaches, techniques that are out there that can help me with my healing, whether that's in your career, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your relationships, whatever that may be. And then we move into the plan, right? So now we got to build a plan. Like, what do we want to work on first? Do we want to work on our career first? Because that's kind of falling apart right now and I don't know what to do. And I feel like I'm in the transition stage and this is not it for me. And maybe I need to be an entrepreneur. That's okay. I've gone through that too. And I'm going through it right now. So I'm happy to share that with anyone that's ready to get started. And so when we move from the plan stage, we go into launch phase, right? So we've built this plan, we're ready to go, and now we're going to put it into play. So what are the different tools, techniques that we need to work on? Okay. And what are some of these techniques that I can work on today, tomorrow, next week? And pivoting, constantly pivoting and flowing. Okay, you'll hear a lot of flow as opposed to force. So we've been taught to force ourselves, to force through things, to like we have that force energy. Especially if you're a driver, if you're a builder and you want to go, 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 right? So this will teach you to kind of slow down and really understand, how do we launch this in a most efficient way that would make sense. Okay, baby steps. And then we move into measure. Some of you call it post-launch. So now we're creating techniques around, is this working for me? What needs to change? What else do I need to work on? I've realized that I need more self-awareness. So I'm aware that I could be a really mean person at work, but not in my personal life. Okay, so I'll be nicer at work. And so the measurement is, yeah, you're nicer at work, but what other parts of your life need healing or need enhancements or upgrades, right? So this measurement stage, I would say, is really looking at you as the product and understanding if everything that you've been taught or everything that you've learned, is it actually working for you? Okay. And you have to understand that this life cycle is a constant movement. So you may heal one thing today, maybe it's in your career, but then something will happen in your relationships, whether it's with your friends, with your family, with your spouse, with your boyfriend or partner, whoever that may be, with your child. And so you're constantly going through this healing. There's a lot of inner child work that has to happen as well. So again, you are the product and your inner child is part of the product. It's a big part of the product. So that's going to be a whole workshop on its own. But You'll learn all of this as we go through it. Okay. So this is just again a snapshot of what I'm offering. And so if you look at these five circles: discovery, strategy, build, launch, and measure. These are five different modules within or workshops, let's just say, within the program. Okay. So let's just go through that so you get a little bit of the flavor of what each of these look like before I get into it at slide one. Okay, so we get into discovery. So this is where we do the self kickoff, right? So what season of my life am I in? There's a lot of writing in this, whether you want to type it out on a computer, whether you want to take notes, by all means do. You will have access to the replay of this video. But if you feel called to write a question that really hits a chord, please do, and maybe journal about it, okay? That's the whole point of this complimentary workshop. I don't want people to walk away with nothing. I want people to walk away with uh, a lot of questions and start really contemplating if this is a program that they need in their lives or not. Okay. Is it time for a change or an upgrade? Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe you're great. Okay. It's amazing. Emotional and energetic interview. So at this point in product management, we start like going around and asking, different departments, customers, really understanding, what's working and what's not working. So this is where you're going to internalize it and ask yourself a list of powerful questions to help identify what's not working in your overall life. Am I self-aware? We talked about that earlier, right? In all aspects of your life, not just at work, not just the example that I gave you. I can tell you, I would have told you I was very self-aware because I have compassion for people, but I was not self-aware until I started to do the work, okay? You really start to understand like triggers that happen like in your relationships, or your kids might say something and you lose your stuff. So, but you need to ask yourself, why am I losing my stuff? What is it that my child just did that is just triggering me? Is it because I'm tired? Fair enough. But it's not just always that you're tired, okay? There's something else. And do I know who I am? Do I truly know who I am? You might, you may not. Okay. And what is my blueprint? So this is really cool. If some of you don't know what a blueprint is your astrological natal chart. It could be, so in the natal charts, they say, oh, you're an Aquarius, you're a Scorpio, you're a Taurus. So that's the astrology around that blueprint. But a lot of it is based off, like a lot of systems, blueprint systems are based off of astrology. So if you're into that, you'll be very into this program. If you're not, it's a really neat way to understand who you truly are at the time of birth and what you're here to experience through life. It's really cool. So yeah, so there's the astrology, there's something called human design, which is really cool. And also Gene Keys. So these are all programs that I've explored. By all means, not an expert, but enough to help guide you guys to understand what those are, and we'll be doing that throughout the programs. The other thing is we will be using ChatGPT. So if you're not a fan of ChatGPT, I'm telling you right now, I think it's a great tool to use that would help you uncover parts of your blueprint. Okay. So you're missing out if you don't want to use it. I know we're worried about it taking over, jobs and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it is a tool. And so part of this program, we do use ChatGPT to help. Okay. It'll save you a ton of time and money uh, just using that and your blueprints. Okay, moving on. Self system impact. So, doing a self system impact. Okay, we are the product, remember. So, what is my system telling me needs attention in my mind, in my body, in my soul? Is my life working well? Am I happy with my career, myself, my relationships? You may already know at the top of your head No, I'm not happy with my career. Do I need to change? Or is it me? Or is it the people I work around? Is it toxic? So, really understanding the depth of who you are, what you're meant to do, and if you're in alignment. If you're in misalignment in your career, this will help guide you into what you need next in your life. Okay. Um, Energetic landscape. So really understanding, what are the tools that could help you discover who you are, right? So we are energy, right? Understanding what that landscape looks like. What methods help me connect with myself? It could be journaling, meditation, yoga, running, walking, could be all those things, okay? And then we move into strategy, which is the next bubble. So it's really going down into your identity. Am I the optimized version of myself? What if I change the way I compare myself to others? I mean, we all do this, right? We all compare ourselves to others. And who am I becoming versus who have I been? Okay. And then moving into internal alignment. So if I'm going a little quickly, I apologize. I just don't want this to go very long. You can watch the replay and really contemplate on some of these questions. But if you like something that you see, or as I mentioned earlier, write it down. Internal alignment. What feedback am I receiving from trusted people or from within? Okay. This is really important because people will say, oh, you're such a sweet person. Or I've had people in my life tell me in the past, you are in your wrong calling. Like you are a healer. You should have been a kinesiologist or like a massage therapist or like a counselor, like stuff like that. And it starts to really come up for you to say, like, these are things that people pointed out that I just ignored and just kept going in my career. Okay. Because we were in survival mode and we still are. So it's really getting out of that and understanding some of that feedback and how it resonates with us or not. And the other question is, where am I out of alignment with myself? What internal voices or patterns could be driving my decisions? We all have internal voices. I don't care what you say. There's always this little voice saying something, whether it's your own voice or a different voice. We're always hearing voices, okay? We all have patterns because we've been conditioned. Um, and so, what are these things that are driving our decisions? Okay, could be survival mode, could be we need to pay the bills, so we need to keep going. And your internal voice might be saying, but you're going to get sick if you keep going at this rate. So it's really understanding what those are. And am I saying yes to things from fear, guilt, or clarity? Like, who hasn't done that? I don't know. I used to do this all the time. I'm getting better at it. That's part of my healing, part of my measurement, making sure that I'm constantly in the yes to things. Okay. And we'll learn a little bit more around how our body responds when it's a yes versus a hard no. And then flow versus force. Like, again, are we flowing through things or, in life, in our careers, we're happy? Or are we forcing things because we need to like survive? We need to show up to that meeting. We need to, show up in that relationship. So when do I feel in flow versus trying to control? And where are my habits aligned or misaligned? Okay, because we all have habits. Your habit could be, you're constantly going, I don't know, to a meeting that you think is useless, or you're constantly showing up for a friend that's just sucking all the energy out of you. To me, that's misalignment. You're not aligned. It's not feeding your soul or your energy, right? So there's a lot of techniques in how to identify that. I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's taking that pause and really understanding. And what supports my flow and what disrupts it. Okay. So, intentional commitments, another one. So, what part of my life is clearly asking for a shift? So, I've committed to having a job, working 9 to 5, But now it's asking me to shift into something else, but I don't know where to go or what to do. I feel like I need to do something different, but what could that be? Okay. Maybe you don't know. That's okay. And I always say to people, think about if money wasn't an issue. You didn't have to make money. You were abundant. You had plenty of wealth. You were very healthy. What would you want to do in life? Some people say, I want to sew. Some people will say, I would bake all day long. Some people will say, I will organize people's homes and closets. That's okay, because that is what makes us happy. Okay. And identifying some of those key things is really important. And I'm not saying, like, okay, quit your job, your career, and go start doing something different. I mean, you could. Um, but it's, it's really understanding, is this where I need to go? Is this at the point in my life where I need to make that shift? And how can I make this work? Okay. Because I've been through it. I'm going through it right now. And what am I ready to commit to, even if it's just for the next 30 days, right? Maybe it's journaling every day. Maybe it's journaling and meditating. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's, going to yoga twice a week. Maybe it's, learning a little bit more about the gene keys. There's so many different things, but it's, am I ready to commit? That's the key. Okay. And how will I stay connected to this vision without perfectionism? Build the plan. Okay, so this is the fun part. It's really a self-proposal. So in product management, this is where we kind of put the final proposal together for everyone to see on what's happening. And this is going to be for yourself, to yourself, for yourself. I'm not sure. What area of my life needs structure? So self, career, relationships, right? Really isolating what it could be, all of them. That's totally okay. And then, that's where we try to do some prioritization. We'll do that after, but what will I prioritize first and why? There you go. And what does success look like and feel like? Okay. Yeah, so this could be written commitments, value aligned exercises, like I mentioned earlier, journaling, or even group discussions. Yeah, so part of my signature program is we will meet once a week to have a group session to talk about, where are you stuck? What clarity do you need? Um, some of that stuff. So it'll be an opportunity for people to either share, something that they've discovered about themselves if they feel comfortable. It's like it's really starting to like build a community around that. That's kind of the whole point. Soul commitments. Okay, so this is where we, now commit to what we've proposed. What am I choosing to commit to from alignment and not pressure? Okay, so flow versus force. And what do I need to release to step into this? So when I say what you need to release to fully step into this, it's could be something around, forgiveness, or it could be something around, it's really letting go of something, surrendering. And once you do that, it really starts to open things up for you in the sense that you start to see things more clearly. Okay. Otherwise, you're stuck in the ego. In is this decision bringing me peace or friction? Okay. And so part of your, soul commitment is understanding, is it going to ruffle feathers or is it going to bring me peace? I mean, sometimes you have to ruffle feathers for it to bring you peace. Okay. Letting go of things is not easy, guys. I know that for a fact. I'm still working through a lot. And then there's inner approval. What does a true yes feel like in my body and energy? So we talked about that previously. And a lot of this might seem repetitive, but it's really isolating something. in you that needs to come out. Okay. Where have I said yes when I meant no? Again, using those tools and techniques we will learn as part of the signature program. And how can I start honoring my full yes more consistently? Okay. You'll learn that. Yeah, so clarity is the foundation of momentum built from what's real and not what's expected. Because I know we've been conditioned to do that. And the final, well, it's not the final, but the final part is launch. And that's energetic embodiment. Okay. So, how am I showing up in my life, my body, my career, my relationships, and my boundaries? Setting boundaries is really key. Where am I still holding back or playing small? Okay. Embody the work, show up in real life, putting it all into action in your life. That's so key. Yeah, so this is really the implementation stage energetically. So how we're showing up in our real lives, in our relationships, everywhere, business, careers, boundaries, all of that. It's all energetic and, embodiment. And then the phase growth plan. So this is, where we build that roadmap. We'll integrate it with patience to avoid any burnout. And so what daily routine supports who I am becoming? Okay. What can I adjust to avoid burnout? Sometimes it's a lot of things. That tells you you're really out of alignment. Um, or it could just mean you have no boundaries. And that was me. I was in alignment, but I had no boundaries. It's just what I was conditioned to do. People please, right? I can do it. I can do it. No problem. I can do it. Um, at work, at home, in my family, extended family. And it just keeps building and building, guys. Okay. Some of you may be there, some of you may be getting there. So the whole point is to get you out of it or to prevent it. And what's one aligned shift I can start this week? Okay. So yeah, I mean, even if it's like a small thing of I'm going to journal every day, whether it's morning, afternoon, night, there is no right way. People will say, well, it's important you do it in the morning, you set your mindset. I get it. But sometimes we forget. That's okay. Okay. Have forgiveness for yourself if you forget something one day, but pick it up the next day, right? There's no sergeant behind you. Rewiring, this is a good one. So this in product management and product development is a training stage. So where we're training the staff, this is you're training your mind, you're rewiring your mind. What thoughts or beliefs need an upgrade to match who you're becoming? And where am I still running old mental loops and fears? Okay, because we do this a lot. We may not even know it. We may not even be aware of it. Okay. We do this a lot, guys. Like I can't tell you how deep fear is. Like I have people saying, I don't fear this or I don't fear that, but I'm going to do this because it's what we're supposed to do. Well, if you don't do it, what happens? Are you in fear? Is that why you're doing it? I don't know. So these are all things, you're gonna be asking yourself and uncovering. Fear goes deep. Okay, it's not about fear of monsters, fear of ghosts, or fear that you're gonna lose your job. It's not that type of fear. These are like deep, ingrained fears where if we don't follow the rules, and I'm not talking about at home or in our family or like government, police, like everywhere in our lives, every part of our lives, right? It's taking back our sovereignty and understanding that there is no fear, there's only love. Okay. So we'll get deep into that as well. And how can I choose a new thought or a story? Rewiring that brain. How do you position from a negative mindset to a positive? Or how do I take that? Uh, approach and flip it. right? So it opens up the mind a little bit more. You're probably like, and what is that? We'll get into that as well. Conscious communication. So, how do my words, my tone, my energy reflect my new identity? Some people might say, wow, you've really changed. I got that. You're not the same person who you used to be. I got that a lot, even from family members. No, I'm not. I'm okay with that. I'm actually very happy about that. Um, so yeah, so that's, you feel like a new person. You're coming from a different space now. And this is where I'm at. And so I'm excited to conquer so many different things in my life right now. It's just taking one step at a time. Okay. And this is one of them, is doing this workshop. And where can I speak or act more clearly from my truth? Right. I mean, we got to be careful sometimes, right? If you're at work and you're feeling something and you really want to speak your truth and you can't, just be conscious about, what you're communicating, that's all. But come from an authentic place or don't say anything at all. What do I need to say to myself or others to stay in alignment? Okay, what do I need to say to myself or others to stand in alignment? I apologize, not stay. It's stand. Well, it could be stay as well, right? We could be already in alignment. So, what do I need to say in order to stay there? I mean, those are boundaries, right? We want to stay in alignment. We have to create boundaries. Okay, moving on. So, my quote there, it's not about being perfect. It's about practicing your truth in real time. And the very last step is measurement. Okay, so this is where we call post launch. We take a look at the results of what we've put into play. Is it working? Is it not working? That's the fun side. So, what has transformed in my life since starting this process? Am I attracting more aligned relationships, opportunities, or energy? Like you'll notice that if you start to really pay attention. And do I feel more clarity, peace, confidence, or joy? Yes, you will to one of those. I hope so, because if you don't, then we need to chat. A mirror, looking in the mirror. Okay, that's a hard one. Some of us think, yeah, well, whatever. I'm not a bad person, and we're not bad people. It's just that, our reactions to things or, why we do what we do, is a good eye opener. Looking in the mirror, how do I feel right now? My body, my emotions, and energy. Okay. What's triggering me? Why is it triggering me? Right. So everyone around us is a mirror to us. So when someone says something and it triggers you, that's showing you something within yourself that needs healing. That's the mirror reflection. Okay. Body could be illness, an ailment, sorry, an illness as well. Okay. What feedback am I receiving from others or the world around me? This is post-launch, right? Not pre. This is not the discovery phase when you're, looking at feedback that others gave you or yourself. This is now looking at feedback as a result of your changes, as a result of your boundaries. And keep in mind, when we create boundaries, we will sometimes have people fall out of our lives, and that's okay. It just means that they're not in alignment with you, but you need to stand your ground, right? That the whole point is empowering yourself, learning who you truly are. What might need recalibrating or letting go? Okay. Again, recalibrating back into alignment. What do I need to let go so that I can get back into alignment? It's all about alignment, right? Processing. What wins or breakthroughs have I experienced? This will be pretty cool. So, a lot of these questions you'll ask yourself after you've gone through all four steps. This will be the fifth. And where have I faced challenges and what did they teach me? Even looking at past challenges, what did they teach you, right? We can learn a lot from that. Even though we think we've learned, there's still more to uncover. And sometimes what happens is as you start to really contemplate on these questions and reflect them back on yourself, you'll start to go down your past and it's almost like a reel. Like you go all the way back, even as a child, and then fast forward. And it's like this movie in your head. And it's like a huge aha moment of why it's sorry, how it's showing up in your life today and why, and how it was repeatedly showing up like a pattern, okay? And then you realizing now why, what was the lesson, or what is my lesson now, or why has that pattern not repeated itself since? It's really cool. And you can journal about that. Those are wins, guys. Every little thing is a win, and every little win deserves a celebration. Okay. Even if it's like buying yourself a coffee, or, we're used to a win being something huge, bringing home an award, winning like, $50,000, or, getting a job promotion. No, a win is like a little aha moment you might have. Okay, so how are you going to celebrate? Maybe you're going to buy yourself a new book. Maybe you're going to, take yourself out for, an ice cream, anything, whatever makes you happy. Patterns. Yes, touched on that. So, what emotional or energetic patterns have I noticed lately? These are new patterns, right? New patterns. Where have I grown in self-trust and or emotional regulation? Okay, so before we might have lost our stuff. And now you like breathe through it and you realize what's happening is not a reflection of you and it's not personal to you. It's a reflection of that individual. Okay. Everyone has trauma, guys. So when someone reacts a certain way, we take it in as it's a reflection of us. And it's not always that way. Well, I know I mentioned the mirror. But that helps you understand why you're getting triggered. Okay. So if someone's telling you, let's just say someone's micromanaging you, and you were micromanaged a lot as a child, and now as an adult, you feel it's very disrespectful and someone's micromanaging you, it could trigger you really bad. Like some people are okay with it, some people are not. I wasn't. And so for me, it was a real eye opener because micromanaging is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of that individual that's projecting the micromanaging because they want to be in control. Okay. And you can't control things outside of you. Everybody has their own journey, their own evolution, their own learning, right? So once you start to detach from that stuff, you start to become a lot more regulated. And that's where this emotional regulation comes into play. So it's really cool. And then how is my awareness helping me lead myself better? Okay. And write these things down, guys, because sometimes we forget and we'll go back to our notes or our journaling and realize, oh my God, like I need to go back to that. I've done that. I've gone through my journal, read random pages, and was like, wow, I can't believe I wrote that. Or that's really cool. Or I'm going to use that tactic again when it comes up, right? And the quote here is awareness is the final step of integration. It truly is. It's how we track our truth in real time. When we're aware, we are present. Okay, so the question is back to you. Where are you? Where are you in your human product life cycle? You could be at discovery, and that's okay. I wasn't, I was maybe pre-discovery, trying to discover things. You might be further along in your journey and you might, be within strategy or building a plan or even launching and you're having a hard time, right? You're having a hard time putting this into production. And that's okay. So that's, where I can come in and help you with some of my coaching services or even going through this process and taking, a step back and going through the discovery, the strategy, the planning, the launching, and the measurement to help you move wherever you're stuck or blocked. Okay. So this is a cycle you'll return to every time you evolve, right? So if you're stuck somewhere, just go back into discovery, strategy, plan. What are the tools? Interview myself. Like we might go through this for career and then think, oh, great. And then now it's like, okay, but I'm having problems in my relationship. So then what do I need to do? So back to discovery, start doing the research, asking yourself, how do people, what feedback can your, close family or friends give you about your relationship? Like, there was things in my relationship that came up after the fact. And at first I thought, well, why didn't they tell me in the beginning, like years ago? Uh, and I started to realize that's not their place to tell me. That's my journey. Everyone, how do I say this? Everyone has their own level of tolerance, okay? And that's okay, right? So, I mean, there's people that tolerate things that I would never tolerate, but then there's things I tolerate that other people would never tolerate, right? So it's going through that. And let me tell you, once you learn all of these steps and transitions and phases, it does help move through life a little bit better. Okay. You look at it from a different perspective. Don't get me wrong. You're not, it's not like you're never going to have healing again because you think you've healed it once. Healing is a lifetime. And you have to think about the conditioning, our inner child, what generation we were brought up in. A lot of us face a lot of these things. It's not just me. Um, it's not just you. So yeah, I think this is the perfect structure to help people go through that evolution or upgrade, right? We're like technology. We constantly need upgrading, internal and external. Okay. So here's an invitation for you guys. So the world may offer answers. However, only you hold the wisdom. Okay. Don't let anyone take that away from you. So, self leadership begins with the sacred act of coming home to your truth. It really does. And so, there's a little something here I put together for you guys. It's the emotional check-in guide. I mean, take it or leave it. It's up to you guys. It's a new clarity companion tool. What I do is I take a screenshot of the image, or I think you can download it on my site. Once you download it, you can save it to your phone or your computer for future reference. So it's a nice little, like, you can put it in your notes or you can put it as your screensaver. Kind of like when you open your phone, you kind of see these four steps constantly reminding you, pause, take a deep breath. Um, so we can go through this quickly if we have some time. No, we're over time. So I encourage you to go through each of these steps, read them, and then actually action them as you go through. Okay. And so what's next? A deeper experience. Yes. So Lead Yourself First signature program. Um, this is the one where we start to go deep on those 5 modules. And the program bridges reflection and real life transformation. Okay. This is not like nothing's going to change for you. Things will change for you, whether it's your mindset, whether it's your perspective on life, your job, who you truly are. You will walk away with something. You'll work with guided sessions, which I mentioned, where we meet, once a week. You'll have energetic tools that and techniques that I'll share with you guys, your personal blueprints to reconnect with your purpose and lead with clarity, confidence, and grounded action. And what's included is you're going to get 5 60-minute live group sessions weekly, which I mentioned. And each session is one of the modules that we're going to go through. And then we'll book a live coaching session. I'll give you a week to have those live coaching sessions. Okay. I want you guys to really step into this. And the first module is the most important. So I say 60 minutes, it might be 90 minutes. But again, uh, they will be recorded, so you can always try to go back to them. And then, but I don't want to really record them because I want you to really engage in it. Okay. But I get people have life happening. So, but again, you're making a huge commitment here to self-growth. Integration prompts for reflection. I'll share some of those with you. And then I'll have a group thread for support and celebrations. So you may not want to wait till we have our group session to, pitch in your win. And that's okay because depending on how many people are in the session, I'm hoping that there won't be more than 5 people. I want to keep it like small and intimate in the beginning. So if you're interested, please sign up as soon as possible. And then if I see there's more, then I will do a separate session, another session, sorry, with them. I'll have a Telegram or a common social messenger, which I quite haven't figured out yet because I want to know what the audience has and what they're using. So I want to be flexible in that sense. And then, yeah, like I said, recorded replay access. Okay. So as much as I don't want to record them, I will record them because it is a paid session. So I think it's only fair that we do that. Okay, so with that, we'll jump into the program pricing options because everyone's probably saying, well, what are you going to charge for this? So it's an energetic exchange that fits your alignment and commitment. So like I mentioned, I just want to make sure you guys are well invested in this, not, half-assed, because it's really important for me that you get something out of it. So early bird session will be 700 for the full program. You're getting 5 sessions, live modules, sorry, and you're also getting 5 coaching sessions, group coaching sessions. So it's, yeah, 10 sessions, which I think is fair. And then the program rate after the early bird will be $1,000 for the full program, which is still a great price. The early bird special will be in the email as far as the expiry date, and it's also first come, first serve. So the first 5 people I get, I will just go. Okay. And then if I have a waiting list, then it's just a matter of when we can go next. My plan is to start the session when everyone's fresh and done with the holidays, because I know everybody's kind of winding down right now. But if someone feels that they need some coaching now, I am available to have for coaching privately. My rate is $200 an hour, but you'll notice here an add-on rate of 150. So if you do sign up for the program and you do come to the group coaching sessions and you feel you need additional one-on-one coaching, then you get a discounted rate of $150 for an hour, 60 minutes personal coaching. Payment options are pay in full, PayPal or e-transfer, and receipts are available upon request. So that's not a problem. And all prices are subject to tax, not included, sadly. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Trust your gut. And so this isn't pressure, it's about permission. So if you're giving yourself permission to commit to this, God bless. Please join if you're ready to lead yourself and step into your truth. And yeah, if you're interested in your transformation and have any questions outside of this little mini workshop, please, I mean, it's not so mini, I get it. Please reach out. I'm happy to have a chat. If you're still not clear on something, let's talk about it. That's always my motto. And yeah, follow me, share your reflections anytime. You can visit my website, www.connectlevista.com. I have a podcast that I've put on pause, but there's a lot of good short clips in there about, we are the product. and self-awareness. And then I'm on LinkedIn under Kathy Luciano. I also have Connect La Vista page on there. And then my email is connectlavista, all one word, no spaces, no dots, at gmail.com. Feel free to email me if you have any questions, okay? So thank you again and take care. Bye, guys.